Alright, so we have the second match in the Noctournament here against Wolf Rat. I chose this set with Nocturne, Cornucopia, and Guilds combined with Nocturne, so we have the Kingdom in front of you here. Now, I'll just go through a few of the Nocturne cards that come up in the game because there's too many to talk about, and I've already spoken about some of them anyways. So here we have Exorcist, which trashes. I like Exorcist. Part of me really wants to make Exorcist work. I spoke about Exorcist earlier. It lets you get the spirits, the will-o-wisps, the imps, and the ghosts from the pile. But Exorcist seems to be a bit slow and difficult to make work. On the board here, it looks like you want to do something with Heralds and Soothsayer, maybe, your Sacred Grove. My opponent opens Cobbler Pixie, which is excellent. Cobbler is the gainer of 4 cost cards, and Pixie means there's Goat on the board, so Goat makes things go faster. So I open with the Devil's Workshop and a Silver. Now, a word about Devil's Workshop. Devil's Workshop is a very good card, I find. It has 3 conditions on it. If you gain no cards in your turn, Devil's Workshop gets you a gold. If you gain 1 card for the turn, Devil's Workshop acts like a normal workshop, gaining you a card costing up to 4, like Herald, which I did earlier. But if you gain 2 or more, and this is the good part, Devil's Workshop will gain you an Imp, which is very, very nice. Very, very nice. So some ways to gain extra cards on the board. The Exorcist can gain an extra card. The Sacred Grove or Hamlet with the plus buy can. Maybe a boon with the Pixie can. If you get the right boon, right? Pixie lets you reveal the top boon, and you could trash the Pixie to get that boon twice. Now all of these double gains have to happen on a turn where you have the workshop in hand, so hopefully we could get that to fire. That's really the main reason for picking it. Well, not the main reason. Here you can gain the Heralds, and then later you can gain the Imps, right? Soothsayer is actually a very easy way, guaranteed way to get 2 gains. You gain a gold, plus you can probably buy something and get your Imp that way. So here, I'm just going to hammer the Heralds. I don't really have anything else to do. My opponent, in the meantime, he has a Sacred Grove, which is good, which is very good, and he has an Imp by this time. I have no idea how he got this Imp. I think it was off of a workshop, but I don't know what was the second card he was able to gain here to allow him to get the Imp. And the Imp makes things very, very fast. It speeds the game up, obviously, because I believe Donald X describes it as a lab variant in that it draws 2 cards. But it's quite a bit stronger than lab, I think, because it lets you play a card out of hand, which lab doesn't really do. So for instance, if it's like a Pixie, if you do Imp into Pixie, you actually draw 3 cards in total there. Kinda, not really. I mean, if it was a lab, you'd have just played the lab and then the Pixie, but I don't know. The search space from the Imp is nice. So my opponent, he has things running. He has his deck drawn by this point. Not entirely sure how all this happened. The even pulled up a nice boon here, the Forest's Gift. So it gave him an extra buy and an extra money and allowed him to knock the Heralds out of the pile. So I believe he won that split 6-4. It means that I should try to play for a shorter game, because in a longer game he will win. Definitely, most definitely. So what does that mean? That probably looks like going after Soothsayer and gold, or Tormentors and gold, or something. But I don't do that because I'm dumb, and I decide to play the long game, which is not in my favor anyway. Not in my favor at all, especially after losing the Herald split. Silver here, there's nothing else really to buy, honestly. Hamlet, I mean Pixie maybe. Maybe the Pixie is better, but meh. Pretty nice boon here for my opponent. He gets the gold gain in 1 when he has quite a large hand size. And I think he does it twice because he picked it up off the Pixie. Not sure if he did it twice or not, but You definitely can receive it twice. It's up to you whether or not you want to take it. So now I go here for another Exorcist. Look, I like the card, okay? Exorcist is very nice. I like Exorcist and I like Ghost, which is why I'll be a diehard Exorcist fan for some time. Um, One important point to note, right, and I didn't pick up on it. So Will-O-Wisp costs 0, as you see here. Imp costs 2, as you see here. I thought Ghost initially costed 3, which means Exorcist would perhaps trash this Devil's Workshop in my hand to pick up her Ghost. That's not true. The spirits go 0 to 4, so Ghost costs 4, which makes it that much more difficult to gain a Ghost via Exorcist. So you need to trash a 5 cost effectively to gain a Ghost, that is, to gain a Ghost. So here I was a bit surprised. I was looking for the Ghost and then I had to go double check. Wait, how much does Ghost cost? Oh, it's 4, not 3. Okay, okay, well that changes my plans a little bit. I think Ghost is strong, right? Ghost is a duration card. It's like Golem. It reminds me of Golem because it flips through your deck and finds an action card and then plays that one twice. Golem just finds 2 different action cards and plays both of them. So I don't know. So there are some similarities to Golem in my mind. And I think Golem is strong. I think Golem is very strong. So I feel like Ghost should be strong too. Just the issue is getting Ghost is a pain in the backside. It's probably easier to buy a Golem with 4 potion than it is to gain a Ghost either off Exorcist or off of the Haunted Mirror. Anyways, back to the game. My opponent, all the pixies are gone somehow. My opponent is actually gonna buy a bunch of Sacred Groves here. I don't think he has to worry too much about me piling out. I don't have money, one, and I don't have as many buys as he does, so I think he just ends up taking 3 Sacred Groves here. Yeah, leaving 4 in the stack, and at this point my goose is cooked. I don't really have a good way out. If I go for provinces, my opponent can do that better than me, and if I go for the Sacred Groves, well, I'll just lose on piles because he has more pile control, more buys, more money than me. So between a rock and a hard place here, I just have to hope he stalls and like buy 2 Sacred Groves and an estate or some rubbish like that, and then buy the next 2 Sacred Groves next turn. That's the only way I win. Maybe he has a hand of 5 Sacred Groves, or like 4 Sacred Groves and a Cobbler or something. Maybe, maybe that's my only chance at this point. So, come up with 10 here. I could go for a couple of Sacred Groves and maybe try to end it next turn. That's probably better. But I go for 1 Sacred Grove and an estate, but it doesn't matter. My opponent doesn't stall, and he kicks off on the next turn to finish the game. So, game 1 goes to my opponent. Opening the Cobbler was nice for him, and being able to empty the Heralds and take that split was also very nice for him. So, there you go. After playing with Exorcist for some time, think it's a bit slow. It's nice to get Wisps in the deck, and it can get Wisps fairly quickly, but Imp is the power card, I think. And it's not so difficult to get the Imp, whereas it is kind of difficult to get the Ghost. Anyways, I will continue my experiments with the Exorcist and see how I can make that be viable, make it work. How can I gain Ghosts? 6 Ghosts in the pile. I like Ghost. So I don't know. Maybe you'll see a few more games with me just trying out Exorcist. Maybe not opening Exorcist is the best thing to do. Maybe you wait a little bit until you could start gaining things more easily, and then you stick the Exorcist into the deck so you could get imps more easily, more quickly. Anyways, that's game 1 for you here. Herald into Sacred Grove, taking it home for my opponent. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.